Here we go, lined up for our NV motorcycles, intermediate and supermoto action. 6-lap race, the lights are on. We've got a good start there from the Husqvarna Vit Pillen. So they head, we've got one bike didn't quite get going there, so one man left on the grid, but everyone else got away nice and cleanly. And it looks like our man did get away in the end there, so everyone is away there. So into the up and over we go. We've got one down into turn 2, so there we go. We've got a couple of guys there. He's looks like he's up and okay, so definitely a slippery track as we catch a glimpse of Nick Camperdown on the Vit Pillen heading into the high pull right-hand hairpin. Then we go back to Ben Gage Brown. He's in second place on the Husqvarna Supermoto, so our man from second place in the race won. Brian Ashdown on the CZ's 250 had a crash in the post-classic race and doesn't look like he's made it back out there, so unfortunate stuff for him. He was right on lap pace with Nick Camperdown in the first race, so it would have been a great little battle to see. Unfortunately, maybe something wrong with the Yamaha TZ, so hopefully that bike's A-OK as we see Nick Camperdown out of turn 10 and up the hill he comes. Already with a massive 25 length bike length advantage as he comes up the front straight. Nick Camperdown on the Vit Pillen, a great looking motorcycle. If you are in the pit, you've got to go and have a look at it. The NV Motorcycles Vit Pillen there, Nick Camperdown, 196 machine. He is in first place. Husqvarna, that's the Supermoto bike. He's in second place. Phil Duthie there with Stephen Bates and Nigel Lennox. So a couple of Kawasaki ZX4s and awesome 696 Ducati Monster of Phil Duthie there, so that's a great third place for him. Daniel Hendy there, he's in sixth place. David Lewis, that's the second of our Supermoto riders out there. He's on a Honda 450. And then Vaughan Main, unfortunately Vaughan having bike problems there, he's not there. Doyle Matosha there, he's on another 650 twin. He's just coming around now as well, so there we go, the intermediate class. And just trying to find out who it was that we didn't have. I think it might have been one of our 650 twins that didn't quite make it round the up and over on the first lap, but we carry on racing with Nick Camperdown out in front by a long way into turn 10. Sweet but classy performance this one. Race won by well over 5 seconds, and this time he's got a 7-second advantage after lap 1. So Nick Camperdown, stylish performance. He heads out of turn 10 and up the front straight, ready to start lap 2 of 6. Bennett Gage Brown, he is in the Supermoto class but out there racing with the intermediates, so great to see him in second place in the race. Then go back to a great little battle with Phil Duthie and Stephen Bates having a little fight for 3rd and 4th place. So great to see that little fight as they cross the line. There's going to be Phil ahead of Stephen just, but that gap there is just under half a second, so 0.5 of a second roughly. That little gap there, so great one to keep our eyes on there. Battle for 3rd and 4th place. We go back to Daniel Hendy. He's on an SV 650 twin. He's in 5th place. David Lewis is in 6th on the Supermoto machine. Phil there coming through in 7th place. So it's actually Nigel we've picked up in 3rd place. So Nigel is the man we see. So sorry for the confusion there, but it is Nick Camperdown in 1st place on the Vit Pillen. And then we go back to Ben Gage Brown. He's on the Husqvarna 450 Supermoto machine. Then it's Nigel Lennox. We called it as Phil before, but it's Nigel and Stephen Bates having that battle for 3rd and 4th, with Daniel Hendy and David Lewis 5th and 6th. Connor Rogers in 7th. There's Phil. He's down in 7th place with Vaughan Main. He is in the pits, so unfortunately for Vaughan, he is out there in 10th place at the moment. And Nick Camperdown all styling at the moment. He crosses the line with 3 laps gone, and 3 laps to go rather. So that's him well out in front, lapping in the 121s last time around, a 122 before that. So definitely some good consistent lap times in some tricky conditions for Nick. We go back to Bennett Gage Brown. He had a long time started for Ben. He was great, now he finds himself a Supermoto Supermoto Racing. And there he is in second place with just 0.8 of a second ahead of Nigel Lennox. So Nigel definitely the man on the charge on that awesome bright pink ZX4. So looks like he might be looking to push up into second place. We'll have a look at that little fight. They're out of turn 1 on the way into turn 2 and in the up and over. That is Ben Gage Brown just ahead of Nigel Lennox with we've got Stephen Bates on the ZX400. He's now in 4th place and Daniel Hendy now in 5th. So keep an eye on that gap there. We see Ben Gage Brown and Nigel Lennox. They are in turn 8, high pull right-hander. So look at that awesome ZX4, get the power down and get right up in behind Ben as they run down into the dipper. Not quite close enough for a move yet. Nick Campenhout, he's out and gone in the distance on the 196 machine. He's out of turn 10 and starting to head uphill. Ben Gage Brown and Nigel Lennox, the battle for 2nd and 3rd, heading up with Stephen Bates there in 4th place. There's Nick Campenhout crosses the line with a 1:22.39, so more consistent lap times for him. Looks like the weather has settled. We haven't seen any more raindrops come on our screen, so looks like the rain might have settled, but it is still quite a damp and tricky track. And Nick Campenhout with a massive advantage over Ben Gage Brown and Nigel Lennox. They coming up the front straight now. We'll catch an update of that over 7 or 8 seconds per lap, and it is up now into 29.5. The gap between 1st and 2nd, but Ben Gage Brown that time around lodged his fastest lap of the race with a 1:28.7. So the pressure from Nigel Lennox has definitely got the best out of Ben Gage Brown, who's just gone to a 1:28.7, his fastest lap. So less than a second between 2nd and 3rd though, so still a battle to keep our eyes on Nigel. And then the gap goes back to 7 seconds to 4th place, Stephen Bates, with Daniel Hendy a further 11 seconds back in 5th place. But great riding on the Suzuki SV650. But Nick Campenhout, 2 laps to go and he's already halfway around the track. He's heading down out of turn 8 into turn 9 and heading towards the northern end of the circuit. The turn 10 sweep, but then Ben Gage Brown just managed to find a little bit of a buffer over our man in 3rd place. With the white flag out, so Nick Campenhout, white flag time, so 1 lap to go for the man, NV Motorcycles, and great to see him out and flying at the moment. So another 1:22, so this is absolutely brilliant from him. More consistent and great lap times from Ben Gage Brown. He's heading out of turn 10 now and up the hill, so that's a great performance from Ben. He's just managed to shake the challenge of Nigel Lennox a little bit, and that gap got down to under a second just before. Ben Gage Brown definitely stretched out a good little advantage. So there it is, Ben Gage Brown just putting in a 1:28.4, so that's his fastest lap of the race. And then go back to Nigel on the ZX4, and that is a 4-second gap now. So definitely, 1:31.5 in from Nigel, so it gave a lot of time away to Ben. Then go back to Stephen Bates on the other ZX4. He's there in 4th place. And then we have a look for the number 87 machine, the Suzuki twin of Daniel Hendy. There it is there. So brilliant stuff from him as we catch an update down out of turn 10. We've got our man on the Vit Pillion coming up the hill now. It is the 196 machine of Nick Campenhout ready to get the checkered flag. And this NV Motorcycles intermediate racing. So brilliant to see NV Motorcycles on board, the Hamilton Motorcycle Club and Kawasaki Road Race Series. Nick Campenhout will take race 2 of the intermediate and supermoto racing. The man from Morrinsville does another good performance and well over 30-second advantage back to Ben Gage Brown, with Nigel Lennox sitting there in 3rd place. So the update for those guys there as they head around turn 10 at the moment. Absolutely brilliant stuff, and that awesome ZX10 of Nigel's, bright pink colours. Can't miss it, a commentator's dream, as we see Ben coming out of turn 10, climbing up the hill. He comes, and brilliant stuff from Ben Gage Brown. It's first in the supermoto class, but it's going to be second in the race. Ben Gage Brown crosses the line, and then we go to Nigel Lennox on the ZX4. He's going to cross the line in 3rd place. So a good performance from Nige. Challenge for 2nd place in the early part of that motor, and just drifted back to a 4.5-second 3rd place. There's Stephen Bates on the ZX4 from Taomudu. He comes through in 4th place, and just waiting for Daniel Hendy on the Suzuki SV650, and that'll wrap up our intermediate and supermoto race 2 action, brought to you by NV Motorcycles.